Probably going to be a shorter video tonight because my digestive system, literally, as I was getting ready to come out here to do this video like a half hour ago, my digestive system decided it was going to pick a fight with me. And boy, oh boy, it's been a little while since I had that much pain. So yeah, that's a fun ride. But right now, I'm going to keep plugging away on working on some things. I've watched a movie for the evening yesterday. I did the episode of Black Mirror, and then I watched the movie that I'm going to review for tomorrow, and then the prompts on Saturday. Oh yeah, my guts are freaking arguing with me right now. Oh my God. Ow. Holy crap. That hurts a lot. Holy crap. Oh my God, I hate when it does that. Oh, that hurts so much. Oh man. Okay, I'm a little lightheaded now. I'm gonna do a quick round here. This may be less than 10 minutes long if that's gonna keep happening. Whew. Okay, so please don't. Please don't. You just did this. Settle back out for a bit. All right, so I have a couple ideas for like the soft sci-fi that I was talking about last night, where one of the settings has the premise of humanity being abducted at a distant point in our past. And so, like, starting that sequence off like that. And then there's the other one where the alien invaders come, and in order to separate, in order to separate that one off into a separate Earth from the other two, the other three, I feel like if you're going to have invaders, you might as well have a similar abduction scenario, only this one's less about establishing a human colony on another location and more about like capturing humans to rule over. And I think the way I want to do that is like the abduction in the past is done through a sort of conflict and capture of people, either like a war in the Middle Ages or Civil War time period where you have battle groups captured by enemies, or even slave trading. You've got people captured and they're relocated onto a planet where they still think it's Earth, but they've just been taken to a different area of Earth. They're uneducated and unable to imagine another world that looks like ours to a large degree, but isn't. They'll notice the stars have changed. They'll notice that the moon looks different. They'll notice that the terrain doesn't look like where they came from, but it's a different world, and they can't fathom that there is such a thing. But the the Alien Invader time frame is going to be more like a contemporary setting in which populations of aliens have come to Earth to capture wild herd animals that they will treat as domesticated beings, and they transport some of that back. So that's sort of like, it's going to take place on two different worlds. You're going to have a world like Earth in the other setting, the genetic engineering setting, where you're going to have invaders that are under the radar. You don't notice them there, except for a few people find them and find a way to end the invasion. And that story is less covered in the settings that I've had them set up right now, because the other side of that story is of humans. It's sort of like if you imagine the Matrix, where in the Matrix they have humans stuck in a virtual reality setting wherein we are unaware of the facts of reality and are instead inserted into a virtual theme park that represents our modern world. And I feel like this could be a different version of that. It's sort of like a cross between a zoo and a farm, meant to placate and keep us calm and manageable. So they drop us in cities, sort of like the Hunger Games sort of stuff. They drop us in cities and regions where we feel like we're still on Earth, and gradually alter the situation so you get a sense of the rich and the powerful live in big cities, but it's not rich and powerful humans. It's the alien invaders who have domesticated us as stock animals. And so that, I think, is the better way to go with that approach. And then the genetic engineering setting, I feel like the situation in that one, I still have to see if I can reconcile the start of the cybernetic and the genetic engineering settings until such time as I can get a good split for them. Because like the stories that are the point of transition in those settings are what I'm looking at doing short stories for right now, or sometimes just background notes. But one of the ones that I'm looking at for the soft sci-fi setting was the genetic engineering set starts out pretty much with a Jurassic Park kind of approach. But in this case, I think the short story might be fun to do the first breakthroughs in creating extinct species. And then at some point, there's got to be some reconciliation between genetic engineering setting, the alien invasion and the alien abduction settings, and the cybernetic future. And the stories that lead up to those transitional moments that split humanity in four directions, those are some of the things I need to figure out a little bit more. But I've got at least the 2 aliens take humans to another world settings I can do for the hard sci or the soft sci-fi. The hard sci-fi, I kind of want to do the lead up to the Mars Rebellion and an example of asteroid miners. Just really like when I tell the asteroid miner stories in that setting, it's going to be about a particular character in a circumstance that leads further into a story. But he's not going to be the only person who's out there mining the asteroids. So having that set up with an environment that can be detailed further, I think that works really well. So at the start of the Mars Rebellion and the asteroid mining, and then a story about synthesizing food, a refugee ship of humans and allied species fleeing from a threat that's just destroying colonies as it passes through the galaxy. They're refugees, and they don't have the supplies they need to make a continuous flight from the attackers. And so that moment of figuring out how to synthesize food to make it possible to travel further longer, that story isn't like a scintillating novel. I don't think it's probably just best told maybe in a short story format. And then there's some questions about an offshoot of humans who are stuck in a situation that alter their physiology over time, over generations, and this sort of belief that they are the last ones of the human race. And so who they become is what they imagine the human race is. But they are so different from humans as we exist today that they sort of feel like they don't want to keep records that demonstrate a sort of loss of that key identity. So it's uncovering that hidden secret that we don't want to admit to ourselves, that we've changed so much that we don't really know that we can call ourselves the last humans anymore. So those are some of the ideas I have for the hard sci-fi setting. And then the Captn Rita Raygun turns out to be a lot of fun to dissect old sci-fi Raygun style fiction and dissect them and just find some of the formulas that they use to generate episodes of old TV shows like Buck Rogers and Star Trek and Flash Gordon and a few of those other sorts of old programs. The episode, I mean, I know I set 3 days aside for doing those stories, but I've had a blast creating some of those stories. So I have probably more ideas in that setting than anywhere else. And I'm tempted to just go digging around some more and find a few other story keys to play with. All right. Well, I know it's kind of early. It's 15 minutes in, but I think I'm going to call it here tonight. I have to go see if I can pamper my digestive system, see if I can get it to stop hurting me, work on some of these projects a little bit more, and then I'll be back tomorrow. I do have to do some of the need to do the movie review for tomorrow, and the creative prompt for Saturday. So I'm going to go take care of some of that right now. Thanks for watching. I may have left this on private, or it might be public. I have no idea at this point. I need to check. But thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. I hate being chronically ill with an illness like this. It just really messes everything up.